How you doing today? I just wanted to do a live stream. It sprayed hard today. Damn. Shit. But I just wanted to do a quick video on my trip to the Blue Ridge Mountains. And I guess in a way it was kind of like my journey into the wilderness. I'm going to consider it that because me and my buddy hiked 8 miles. So I'd say that's pretty much in the wilderness. And I gotta say, it was really peaceful out there. I made 2 videos right now. Oh shit, I'll have to check that after my live stream. That's what's up. But yeah, it was real fun. There was lots of waterfalls. I'm actually just up and doing a video now. It's like a little 30-second video clip of me and my buddy when we were over at the waterfall. And because there's down in the Blue Ridge Mountains, there's a lot of waterfalls over there. Like, actually, a lot of parts when we were hiking, literally, I'm about 6 foot, so literally there would be parts of the trail that were flooded, and we'd have to trek like through the water, and sometimes it came all the way up to my ankles, and we had to like walk through that shit. But, and of course, this was off water, so it was cold as fuck. So we got it when we so pretty much every so often we'd have to cross those, and we actually trekked. We got there at like 4:30, and we actually didn't get back into my car till about 8:30 exactly. And so we were hiking for a good 4 hours. Yeah, about 6 foot. Like it's, yeah. Last time I was, they did my height. It was 6 foot. But I feel like as I get older, I'm getting shorter. So, but yeah, like the whole time I was there, I didn't think about the stresses of the world and stuff like that. I was having fun, like walking around, looking at all the cool stuff to see.
In half a mile.
And
it
was a good time to clear my head and think about some things. And my friend too, he's in a kind of stressful situation financially at the moment. And when we were there, he was telling me it gave him a lot of time to think about stuff, and I gave him a chance to breathe for once. And it was cool because when we were hiking back to my car,
turn right on Bloomsbury Road.
There was like a mountain breeze that went through. Oh, it felt so good. And the main reason I did want to go is because I wanted to check out the campsites, because I was thinking about it at some point. But where we got to, we didn't even get far enough to get to the first campsite. So, just trekked on the trails. And one thing Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot that. It makes people look shorter. But yeah. The whole time, and like, while I was out there, it made me realize why the Bible talks about eventually returning to the wilderness. When the abomination of desolation happens, it says to flee to the mountains. So I already got that escape route covered. It made me get back in touch with nature. I know this kind of sounds a little hippie-esque, but it did help me to get back in touch with nature, and made me realize that the world that we live in, that most of us live in, is not the real world that we're supposed to be living in. The real world we're supposed to be living in is like places like that. Because you think about like how it started in the Garden of Eden. That's where Adam and Eve were. So, you know, in a way, it's almost like that was the ultimate goal this whole time, is to try to get man back to that state, to a simpler period of time. And it really made me reflect on a lot. One thing that's pretty cool too, and you're not going to be able to see this unless you go to a super secluded spot like I was in the mountains. But when it was about 8:30, and I went and looked up in the sky, and I'm not even joking when I say this, there were so many stars out in the sky. Like where I live, when I look at the sky, I'll see like a few scattered around, but there were so many stars in the sky when I looked at it. It was as if God had glitter and he sprinkled it across the firmament. That's legit what it looked like. I don't know, I thought that was cool. You see a lot more stuff out there in the mountains when you look up in the sky, I guess. It's like also your mind frame changes when you're out there in the wilderness. And not in a bad way. I think it changes in a good way. And not to mention, it gave me a sense of adventure for once in my life. It's like, me, myself, I'm a pizza delivery driver. You know, I don't really get a lot of excitement that much. A lot of adventure. But I did when we were out there, for sure.
Turn left on Kings Highway.
Like, you don't understand that the Appalachian Mountain, or the Blue Ridge Mountains is so big, it literally stretches like something like 400 something miles. And
in 1.8 miles.
Yeah,
turn
so
right
it's like
Fort
really
Conley
easy.
Road.
It's really easy to get lost. And my buddy was like worried we weren't gonna get back, and I was just like thinking in my head, like, you know, okay, worst case scenario, we can't call for help or anything like that. I'm prepared to just sleep here right directly in the trail and just wait. Wait until the morning and then continue hiking. I was prepared to do that. But my buddy wasn't so much prepared to do that.
In 1 mile.
Yeah, it was almost like I could see the Milky Way. I'm pretty sure. Like, That's an even better way of describing what I saw, I would say. Because it did look like the Milky Way. Kind of, so yeah, that's probably what I saw. I don't know. But of course, if you believe in the biblical cosmology and stuff, it's just a projection of sorts, or it's just stars in the firmament. And I think the reason we can't see so many stars, most of us, is because of light pollution. And also regular pollution probably has something to do with that as well. So
turn right on Fort Conway Road.
it was quite interesting. It was like I was looking at billions and billions of stars. Like, it was just crazy. That just goes to show you how amazing God's firmament is, though.
In a quarter of a mile, turn right on Hop Yard Drive.
But yeah, it was a pretty good time. Whenever you get a chance, if you want, check out my
turn right on Hop Yard Drive.
check out my 30-second video when it's done uploading, and you'll be able to see a little bit more.
In 900 feet, turn left on Parsons Lane.
In fact, there's so many waterfalls that at one point, we didn't even bring water, so at one point we got thirsty, and we just drank straight from the waterfall. And it was the purest tasting water I've
turn left on
ever
Parsons
had, I
Lane.
think.
In 500 feet, turn
Purest
right at
tasting water.
5980 Parsons Lane.
A lot of people don't realize that if water is fast moving and in constant motion and is bouncing off rocks, it's
You've arrived
fairly
at
fresh
your
to drink.
destination.
It's one of the things they taught us in Boy Scouts. Alright, give me 1 second. I'll run this food in. No stars overlap. What do you mean no stars overlap? like when I was out in the sky, when I was out in the mountains and I looked up in the sky? I don't know. I mean, if they did overlap, I don't know how I would notice. I don't know, I didn't see any stars overlap, I don't think. Is that what mainstream science is teaching, that stars overlap? I'm confused. No, I'm just trying to figure out what you're saying. I'm confused when you said no stars overlap. I mean, are you talking about in time lapse? Or if you're talking about time lapse, no, I've never seen stars overlap on a time lapse before. Oh no, not at this place. They make the cashiers and stuff wear the uniforms, but the drivers, they don't care. But what were you saying about the stars overlapping though? I've never heard of stars overlapping, but is that like something they're teaching in mainstream science? Or oh yeah, they never overlap. Okay, I see what you're saying. If we follow the heliocentric model, that would be, we'd be believing that there's trillions and trillions and trillions of stars in the sky, and if that's the case, then logically stars would have to overlap if we believe that theory. I see what you're saying now. Yes. Okay, now I understand what you're saying. Now I got you. Yes. The Creator has perfectly placed each star in its designated spot in the firmament. Yeah, it is. I think it is cool. All the luminaries have their own paths. None of them ever overlap. And you could learn more about that from the Book of Enoch that goes into details about the luminaries. That's where I learned that the moon was shaped like a globe. Oh yeah. No parallax. Yep. And I believe a while back someone tried to shut me down by talking about solar what is it, Animalia or whatever it's called. And I looked it up and it didn't, and it was just talking about how the sun makes a clockwise motion, or like a figure 8 during the seasons, which coincides with the flat earth theory. But it's like, it's okay, we know the truth. We shouldn't be prideful about it, but we know. We know it's definitely not what they're telling us it is. That's that much for sure of. But yeah, when I looked up in the sky the other night when I was in the mountains, like, I definitely didn't get the feel. I didn't feel like the stars were completely random or anything like that. Because and my friend, he's not a flat earther, but I could tell when he was looking up at the sky, even he was in amazement. And I think somewhere in the back of his head, he was thinking, there's no way that all these stars are completely random. Hey, how's it going, Spring Rain? Yep. It's definitely weird, but we know that the sun moves, but it doesn't spin. In fact, I don't even think the moon doesn't even spin. I'd be willing to say. They both move, but they don't spin. Hey, we're doing good. We're just talking about my trip to the Blue Ridge Mountains. But yeah, none of those bodies spin. I know that the the moon is a globe, and the only reason I say that, the only reason I'm saying that is because of the way Enoch described it. It spins? Well, maybe, but the thing about those sunspots are, the only time I've ever seen sunspots is, now other people might have a different experience, but the only time I've personally seen sunspots is when it's in computer-generated images from NASA. Not saying there aren't, but just saying that's the only time I've seen it. So I'm a little skeptical. A little skeptical of the sunspots. But where did you see it from? You'll have to excuse my skepticism, because I've been a flat earther too long. But where was the source that you saw it? Now, was this amateur footage? If this was amateur footage, is that okay? That's the only thing I pay attention to. I don't listen to it about, anything else our government tries showing us. I only care about what the amateur, average, everyday guy reports. So did you see it? When you saw it, did it come from NASA? Did you record it? Or did you see it through an amateur, amateur made video? Okay, alright. Then I guess it does spin, I guess. Like I said, I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong. Jeez, bro, seriously. People on motorcycles cutting people off. It's pretty rude. But yeah, my apologies to you, brother. My apologies for the skepticism. But yeah. So, if the sun spins, does the moon spin as well? I'll definitely check it out. Oh, I know that the sun and moon aren't flat. The sun, I'm not sure. Yeah, my bad. I get super skeptical. Like I said, because I've been a flat earther for so long that I tend to question most everything I hear. Okay. Alright. So the sun and moon spin. Okay, we got that. Alright. Now, the next question I have is, do you believe that almost slipped up. Do you believe that the moon is a globe? I know they're both circular, but do you believe that the moon is a globe? Either one of you guys? That's the big question right now. Shaped light. Heck yeah. I don't know, I'm stuck in the middle right now with the shape of it. Because not even sure. Yeah, I'm stuck in the middle of it, like, because the only source I have really to go off the only reason I think that that talks about himself, Earth, or I saw the moon as a globe, or something similar to that. Oh yeah. It can definitely be intangible. It's definitely because during the day when the moon still hasn't gone down yet, you can see the well, you can see it just by looking at the moon, I'll say. But that is with the 100. I've never seen it with my own eyes that I can remember. I've seen a lot of weird stuff in the skies for sure. A lot of odd phenomenon. Like one night, actually 2 different occasions. When I was younger and I was living, with my parents and stuff. I went out back, and my parents, they live in the woods. Not. I was looking at the stars and I was like, wow, look at all the stars. And then I saw a star fall straight down. They literally scared the crap out of me. I didn't know what was about to happen. And I will keep that story with me to the grave because it might sound crazy, but a star sound crazy, but a star. I don't know how else to describe it. When I looked in the sky, it was there with all the other stars, and then like a second or 2 later, it just started slowly falling. I know, but I don't want to be like one of those. I don't want to be one of those people that's like, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. And it kind of scared me a little. What it says in the book of Revelation, the stars will fall. Like, what does it say? Like a fig tree that's been shaken up. And that's exactly like it fell. It just fell. It wasn't falling fast. It was falling slow and smoothly. Yep. Yeah, we'll be falling soon. But, yeah, on another occasion, I'll share this really quick because I gotta go in real quick, but, I was outside about a few years ago in my old place, and, I was out in the backyard and I was smoking a cigarette, and I looked up at the sky, and there were these few stars that were near the moon, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And then all of a sudden, this got out and started moving around and doing all these bizarre passive motions, and then after that, it just slowly disappeared. It was weird, crazy stuff. Yep. I know I'm crazy. I get told that all the time. But I just tell people what I've seen, and if they choose to believe me, that's cool. If not, that's cool too. But anyway, I gotta go back inside real quick. So I hope you guys I hope you two have a good night. I'm radical. Hell yeah. Radical all the way. And then head inside. Y'all have a nice night. Peace and love to you guys. Bye.